Some viewers may find the following video disturbing. Viewer discretion is advised.
It's 4 o'clock in Los Angeles. It's 6 o'clock in Chicago. And it's 7 p.m. in Atlantic City, New Jersey. Hello, everybody. I'm Mad Dog Scipio, joined as I am, God help me, each and every week by Amelia the Pitbull Chapman. I'm afraid to ask you how you're doing. How you doing, Amelia?
Oh, finally staying dry because it rained pretty much all day here.
This is why I don't talk to her, folks. Anyway, are you working yet? Did you find a job?
No, but I did call the lady that interviewed me recently and just so you know, follow up, tell her I'm interested. And she had a family emergency, so that's why I haven't heard from her. So fingers crossed.
Really?
Yeah.
Maybe they'll take you off my hands for a little bit. Wow.
You wish.
Well, yeah, right.
You'd miss me.
What? I would miss the quiet around here? Are you kidding me?
I have Anita help me with the noise to keep you busy.
Oh my God, please, you're killing me. This is WWTF Radio 88.7 on the broadband radio system. I am Mad Dog Scipio. That is Amelia the Pitbull Chapman. This is What's the Buzz, America's Best Popcat. Tonight on the record with President Donald Trump all week in the news. Former President Trump has been in the news all week. Obviously, the whole world knows, literally the whole world knows now what happened on Saturday, July 13th in Butler, Pennsylvania. And if you live under a rock and you don't know what happened in Butler, Pennsylvania, somebody tried to shoot President Trump and almost succeeded. I mean, that's a close call. Talk about a close shave, boy. That's a close shave.
Yep.
The attempt on President Donald Trump, part 2 last night. We did our initial investigative show into what happened, who was involved, the players, the people who lost their lives. And I hate to say that anybody lost their life, but yes, one person did. It could have been more. Thank you, God, it wasn't. But Corey Comparatori is a hero now. Fire Chief Corey Comparatori, the late fire chief of, I believe it was called Penrose. What was it called? Penrose Park, Pennsylvania. What was
Bethel Park.
Bethel Park.
Mm-hmm.
Bethel Park. I knew it was some kind of park.
Yeah.
Yeah. So when I say Penrose Park, Bethel Park. Okay.
That's okay. It's been probably a long day for you because I never asked you how your day was today.
I'm in my day.
Yeah. How was your day today? You always ask me. I never.
Busy. I'm busy doing investigating and making calls and deciphering real pictures from fake pictures. And we're going to talk about that tonight. There's a famous picture making a way around the internet right now. And I got some news to tell you, folks.
Ooh.
Don't believe it. It's a fake.
Mm.
It's a fake, and you're going to see it tonight. But let's not get too far down the rabbit hole just yet. Let's talk about just a recap of last night. We were introduced last night to some of the players involved. Of course, the shooter, Thomas Matthew Crooks, the young 20-year-old kid, they say, allegedly, who took a shot at President Trump.
Right.
His name is coming into question all of a sudden now. Something's just not adding up right about him.
Correct.
So we're going to find out. I think as the days go by, you're going to find out you've been lied to a lot. Not by the Trump people. Not by the Trump people. You've been lied to by the Secret Service. You've been lied to by the White House. You've been lied to by the Department of Homeland Security. And I'm going to tell you what those lies were later in the show and tomorrow night, because we have another show tomorrow night, part 3 in the events surrounding the attempted assassination of President Donald Trump. So, Amelia, when last we left off last night, we were in up to our necks in all kinds of shit, trying to wade our way through it.
Right.
And oh man, what a mess! What a mess!
You know,
here's the thing, folks. You got, whenever you have a president, I don't care who it is, he shows up in your town, right? Everybody from the next neighboring 5 states is going to show up.
Oh, absolutely. Okay. Everybody.
Butler, Pennsylvania is a town of 7,000 people. It's a lot of fields, a lot of farms, 7,000 people. In one place on Saturday, July 13th, there were more than 40,000. That's 40 with a zero, folks. 40,000 people in one place. The town of Butler, Pennsylvania, quadrupled and then some in one day. In one day, Butler, PA became, like a small city unto itself. You had not only everybody there to see the president, you had the president and his entourage and the Secret Service and the National Guard and every police agency in the next 3 states.
Oh, yes, absolutely.
Including Pennsylvania, New Jersey, Ohio, wherever you could throw a rock, there were cops.
Yeah, all the surrounding states around there, yes.
Exactly, and they were everywhere. And so it's no small task when a president comes to visit, but it has its challenges. Okay, so everybody said it was just another presidential visit Saturday, and they did what they were trained to do. We'll talk about whether they actually did or not. There were people there who clearly were out of their element. Let's just put it that way. You're going to see some of them tonight. You're going to see some people tonight, folks, that follow Donald Trump everywhere he goes.
Yes.
One particular guy you're going to see tonight, his name is Vincent Fusca. Vincent Fusca is a very interesting guy because they think, I say they, the conspiracy people think that he is John F. Kennedy Jr. Now, I'm going to reserve judgment. I personally don't think he is, but you show me enough evidence to prove that he is, I might buy it.
Right.
So we're going to talk about that because I know that you're in that camp.
Yeah, and there is also somebody else, but we'll get into that when you show all of that. But
yeah, we're going to talk about that.
And where he was at, of course, it's the fairgrounds because it's a small town, but Bethel Park, you got to understand too that there's a lot of surrounding farms around that little area too, that anybody could have just been around there. So it was not secure as well.
Well, and that's important. That's really important because that lends credibility to the notion that there were unsecured perimeters.
Correct.
And there were, in fact, unsecured perimeters, a lot of them, in fact. In fact, we heard last night from a reporter who said that the woman who owns the property right next to where the president was speaking, she said nobody came to see her.
Nope.
Nobody from the government. the FBI, the Secret Service,
yeah,
not even the local police in her town.
correct. So the
In
police were not
Butler,
doing their job.
Pennsylvania.
The police were not doing their job, and they should have had a police posted at every area around there just to at least have.
Well, I don't. Here's the long and short of it. I'm going to give you I'm going to put this out there right at the top of the show.
Sure.
I don't think that the Secret Service, the FBI, or local police believe that Butler, Pennsylvania was a security threat. And that's precisely why.
Because of a small town that was.
Precisely why.
Yeah.
You should double down on security, because think about something. The former governor, the late former governor of the state of Georgia, Alabama, George Wallace, was struck down by an assassin's bullet, but he didn't die. He was paralyzed for life. There were only 6,000. Think about this.
Yeah.
There were only 6,000 people there.
Yes.
I say only because we're talking about more than 40, folks, 40,000 people in Butler, Pennsylvania, in a town that only has 7,000 people.
Right.
Okay. This is what we're talking about. It's apples and oranges, but it's like day and night as well.
Right.
All right. And I don't mean that in a good way.
Right.
I don't mean that in a good way at all. The small town passion. I'm going to use that word, Amelia.
Right.
The small town passion for politics. You think about, you've heard this your whole life. God, guns, guts. Country, always first.
Yes.
God, guns, guts. Country, right?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Where do you hear those kind of words? In small town America.
Small towns, yes.
You don't hear that stuff.
No.
Hey, Dean is here. Hey, Dean, how
Dean.
you doing? Our buddy Dean Willie's here.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, you know what, Dean? You must be psychic, brother. See, I told you before, Dean is psychic.
Yeah.
Because we talked about this last night, Dean. I said, man, I'm getting this funny feeling, Dean, that this was an inside job. And I got news for you, brother. I think tonight, I don't know if I could prove it, but I'm certainly going to point out some flaws. Let's put it that way.
Yeah.
Because I will just tell you guys, and Dean, I love you, brother. Just know that I'm fired up tonight. Man.
Yeah, because I know what my
Okay.
great grandmother was
we're
from a
do
small
first.
town. So yes.
What we're going to do first, and I want to get this out of the way.
Mm-hmm.
We do have sponsors on the show.
Yes.
And I want to do this right away at the top of the show. Normally we would wait later, but let me go ahead and do this now, because once we get started, folks, it's going to be hard to shut me up. So let's take a listen to a word from Pepsi and Shopify.
Check it out.
Introducing the new and improved taste of Pepsi Zero Sugar. Now more delicious. Zero never tasted so good. Try it now.
Jess wanted to start a business when something surprising happened.
Today I'm going to teach you how to crochet.
She started crocheting, like a lot. And her friends noticed.
Jess, you need to sell those.
So she signed up for Shopify and started building her business.
Yes, I love that.
And after a lot of hard work, this happened.
Oh my gosh, I just made my first sale!
You see, every day, hundreds of businesses get their first sale on Shopify.
We got ding!
And the next could be you. So when you're ready to bring your idea to life
And become your own boss.
build it on Shopify.
All right, we are back with What's the Buzz, America's Best Podcast. Interesting. Dean has an interesting comment. He said the shooter was there for a long time, and I believe that. I really do. I think he was there we know he was there That was on a Saturday. We know he was there Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and someone said that they could put him there on Friday for at least an hour or so. But he spent Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, almost the entire days, walking around.
Yes.
So, I mean, just spending a lot of time walking around. You know, and what do you do when you walk around? You observe, you see things, you kind of like take everything in.
Absolutely. Where you can
Right?
hide the gun because they're gonna check everybody to make sure, probably, right? They probably had to have checked everybody to make sure what they had on their person, right?
Well, not only, yeah, that's true. Not only that, there's an immense security presence, okay? For sure. And that's no matter where with anything to do with a president or a senator, a dignitary, there's always a huge security presence. They're going to check you for, metal. They're going to check you for weapons, anything that you shouldn't have. That's normal. Okay. So people going into this, they know you're going to go through a security checkpoint.
Yes.
You're going to open up your bag. You're going to go through a metal detector. Then you're going to be wanded down like they do at the airport. Okay. And then finally, they're going to let you into the area. Okay. And each person, by the way, takes about 6 minutes.
Yes.
I want you to think about that. 6 minutes times 40,000 people. You're talking about a couple of hours right there.
Yes.
At least, okay? At least a few hours. And a lot of these people were invited.
Yes.
The people behind the president were invited. That's the VIP section, the dignitaries. You get a special pass to be up there with the president. Because they don't let just anybody up there.
No, they do not.
Like, you got to be somebody to get up there, okay? I don't care if you're the mayor of the town or you sit on the town council, or you're the, the fire chief or the guy that runs the flower store. I mean, you have to have a special badge to be there.
Oh, absolutely. With tickets.
And you have to go through security before you, days before that. Okay. So there's a lot to go through. All right. So now, how did security become breached? Well, Dean said, what he thought about that. He thought maybe it was an inside job. I say that it was. I'm leaning in that direction. I'm certainly leaning in that direction. But can I prove that it was? No, I can't. Here's why. I don't have the evidence in front of me. Now, everybody knows on this show, you listen to us, you watch us on YouTube and all of our hundreds of other video and audio platforms. You know that we love a good conspiracy here.
Yes.
And I love a good, I'll just tell you straight up, I love a good conspiracy. But I also absolutely cherish the truth. And as much as I love, a good conspiracy, there's a fine line sometimes between a conspiracy theory and a conspiracy truth, a conspiracy fact.
Right.
And then again, there is this other thing called the truth.
Right.
Minus the conspiracy. So here's what happens, folks. We get a lot of info here, and Amelia and I got to sort through a lot of shit sometimes.
Especially when you can prove them wrong, and you have. And I'm like, yes, he did it.
Yeah, well, I prove them wrong with the facts.
Right, you have a couple of times.
Wrong with the facts and the evidence.
Yes.
See, doing this show has turned us into lawyers, police investigators, criminologists. We're part-time pathologists sometimes. We're sometimes reporters.
Yes.
We used to be all reporters. Now we're everything. We do everything.
Everything in between. Yes.
You know, and then some,
Right.
including babysitting Amelia.
Hey. Hey, you turned this into paranormal investigators too, twice. Remember?
Yeah, no, Paul, shut up. That's another. Don't go down that rabbit hole.
But I love that one. But and also
But
too,
here's
we're
the
waiting.
thing, folks.
We're waiting too to see, was he wearing gloves? Is there gunpowder in his fingernails or in his finger? We're waiting a bunch of all that stuff too.
Yes,
to come back.
absolutely. So here's what we're saying. As much as we like to say these things, and sometimes we do just to get you fired up,
Mm-hmm.
there's a fine line between that and the truth.
Right.
So and especially when you're talking about somebody got killed here.
Yeah.
You know, somebody died for real. A man died that day. He went out expecting to see the president, and he met the president that day. And just a couple of hours later, they were carrying his body out of there.
Yes.
Okay. Who can predict that? Nobody can predict that. It happens. You know, tomorrow is promised to no one. That's why every day you have to make it count. So here's what we're saying, folks. We're going to, I think, tonight delve into some of the conspiratorial stuff. We had the hard facts last night. Now let's toy around with some conspiracy stuff, because I think Dean's going to like this. Oh, Scott's here, my brother-in-law.
Hey, Scott.
Hey there, brother. Let me see what Scott says. I'll get you in here. Hold on there, Scotto. Hold on. Where did he go? Where in the heck did he go? Hold on there, Scott. I can't find looks like we're froze up.
Let's see.
In our chat. Oh, there it is. Hot damn, we got you. I got you, Scott. The police officer on the roof. That's the question we want to get to.
Mm-hmm. Oops. It looks like Angelo's having some technical difficulties, so he should be right back. If the police officers see him on the roof, why did he not shoot him then? We'll be getting to that very soon as well, because that is a question that we will be answering. Angela was going to have
what the hell happened there?
I don't know. I was just
it's your fault. I'm going to tell you why it's your fault.
I did not. I was just telling Scott
it's your fault because you mentioned paranormal investigators.
No, I was just telling Scott
jinxed us. So stop that.
No,
my brother-in-law asked a question. I'm going to answer it.
And I said you were going to have to answer.
Police officer saw him on the roof. Why did they not shoot him? Well, we're going to get into that right now. And I'm going to show you something. I want you guys to take a look at, this is the shooter. Okay. It's a lot going on here.
Yeah.
There's a lot going on here. So just like take your time and we're going to talk about this. So let's just take a look at this first. I want you to watch.
I teach AP and honors economics in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. Financial well-being to me is knowing that I can be free to do the things that I love to do. I hope when I retire someday, they say that guy made this place a special place to come to school. He gave as much as he could to help the community.
Okay, so I have a question right off the bat.
Mm-hmm.
This is Thomas Matthew Crooks. As a high school kid, in school, as part of a commercial for this educational fund, okay, called BlackRock. I don't know what it is.
Mm-mm.
I did some checking, though. BlackRock never ran a commercial in the history of their existence.
Wow.
All of a sudden, a commercial surfaces that just happens to have Thomas Matthew Crooks. Can you explain that to me, Lucy?
Interesting how they would put him in there really quickly, huh?
Well,
Supposed honor student or smart person in there.
Well, tell me. Go ahead. You're up. Tell me.
Well, it's like they're trying to make him look like he's not a being bullied. They're trying to make him look smart. They're trying to make him look like he's not, I guess, a killer. They're trying to make him look like he's sane. What do you think?
Well, they don't have to make him look smart. He was smart. They said he's a smart guy.
Make him look like he's sane, like he wouldn't do something like this, like he used be.
Well, no. How do you come to that conclusion, though?
The way he was looking at the teacher, like he was happy, like he wasn't, like they had described him
He looked
before.
like a student looking at a teacher the way students look at teachers.
Yeah, like he wasn't an outcast. He wasn't.
Well, you
a loner.
Hold on a second. Back up. Hold on. You can't tell any of that.
No.
You can't even assume that. Because there not one time during the tenure of that commercial did any of that even come up, or was it implied, or was it even remotely grazed over? There was nothing there to even indicate or implicate him as anything other than a good student.
A happy student, like he was happy to be there.
Well, you're being recorded for a commercial. Of course you're going to act happy.
Yeah.
You're in a, let's not lose sight of this. It was a commercial. Take one, take two.
Yeah, he was.
Matthew, can you do that? Take again.
Yeah,
take one. Take two.
As soon as the lights, camera, action came on, he was just all happy. And,
Well, you have to understand something. You remember this. All right. This is where I have to kind of become teacher. Okay. Look,
well, he wasn't wearing the khaki clothes either that they said that he would wear.
No, but he was. Again, remember something. It's a fucking commercial.
Yeah.
Okay? He's in wardrobe. He's not wearing his street clothes. If he is, they're going to put him in something else.
They're going to tell him to change because.
And he's there with other kids from the school, I'm assuming, right?
Could be, yeah, or it could be actors.
Well, they could just be actors. That's the point. Thank you for saying the word.
Yeah.
Actor.
Yeah.
What do actors do?
They act.
They act. He could be acting like a student. Okay? He could be acting like he's interested in learning. He could be acting like he's, not a psychopath.
Yeah.
It's a commercial for a company that never ran a commercial. Now, I have a problem with that. And I'm hoping that some of my intellectuals like Scott and Dean will jump in here. People saw him on the roof and police did nothing. You're actually going to see something tonight, Dean, that's going to blow your mind. In fact, it's coming up shortly. Watch this.
I hate Trump. My name is Thomas Matthew Crooks. I hate Republicans. I hate Trump. And guess what? You got the wrong guy.
Can anybody explain to me what the hell does Dean Willie, if you're still with me, what the hell does that mean?
From a profile that kind of looked like him, but then it didn't look like him.
Thank
you.
In
a way.
Hold on. I'm glad you said something. We're going there right now. We're going there right now. Here's the issue. Here's the question. Here's what's at stake. Is this the same person? Or are there two different people? I'm not talking about lookalikes. I'm talking about two completely different people. Because the guy on the roof,
right?
I got a good look at the profile of that guy. And he don't look anything like Thomas Matthew Crooks.
That look like two different people, especially from the profile. Because we've done shows that the profile looks different.
He had a beard and mustache and hair down to his ass.
Right.
Now, granted, Thomas Matthew Crooks has long hair, but it ain't down to his butt. Okay?
No.
Let's watch.
Mm-hmm.
Right on the roof. It's much tougher than it happened. You went. Now it's my time. I'm doing what I want, 'cause this is my life. Right now.
Did you see what that says?
Yeah.
How did the FBI determine the shooter acted alone within hours without being able to access his phone? Somebody needs to answer that question. I need my detective Dean Willie here. And you know what? See?
Yeah.
Great minds think alike. Dean, you said the same thing I said 2 minutes ago. Two different people. Absolutely. Another Oswald. Absolutely. We already know now, based on history, there were at least four Lee Harvey Oswald lookalikes.
Yes.
Okay. And the real Lee Harvey Oswald looked nothing like the mugshot that they took.
Right.
Because that was another lookalike.
Yes.
Okay. Where do you see that show when we reinvestigate it? Because that's coming, folks. It's absolutely, Dean, it's two different people. Take a look at this, guys. All right, Amelia.
Yes.
This woman here, this is, her name is Kimberly Cheadle. Okay. I'm going to tell you who Kimberly Cheadle is. And even though you already know, I'll tell you and the rest of the world. Kim Cheadle is the director of the United States Secret Service. Okay?
Yes.
She's a 42-year-old woman. How she got that job at 42, I want to know. I want to know whose bed she laid down on. Because that's what I'm saying. She slept her way into that job for sure. Here's the thing. And we need to get serious about this. She is answerable to one person. One person and one person only. Who is that, Amelia?
The president.
The sitting president.
Yes, Biden.
Absolutely. She is answerable only to Joe Biden. Think about what I just said, guys. She's answerable only to President Biden. She works at his pleasure. And that's what the job entitlement is. You work at the pleasure of the President of the United States. That means what he tells you to do, that's what you do. If you ever doubt that, look throughout history at the few people who disobeyed their orders. One Secret Service head was found floating downward, face down, in the Potomac River. Not even kidding. Okay? Not even kidding. Check it out. Think I'm kidding. All right. Amelia, your thoughts on Kim Cheadle?
Well, I mean, like you said, who does she have to be with to get that job, for one? And I know she had to hire the Secret Service, right, for Donald Trump, or did he hire his own?
That's a great question. I have the answer to that. The presidential detail that follows former President Trump and every other former president is assigned to that person by the head of the Secret Service.
So she's the one?
She's the one who chose the assignments.
Oh, God.
That falls directly on her job duties. That's her primary job. Her primary job is protect the body. You hear what I said? Did you hear the word I used?
Protect the body.
Protect the body. Okay? You're going to hear that term repeated in this clip. Watch the rest of this clip.
The bunting around the front of the stage is probably armor. Donald Trump knew to duck. I mean, most people would. He saved his own life. That's just a fact. The evacuation did not go right. I mean, the rule with the Secret Service is cover the protectee and evacuate. The other rule is maximum to the protectee, minimum to the problem. Why minimum to the problem? Because you don't know that's the only problem. It could be a distraction. There could be another person in the crowd. So if you don't jump on the protectee, you could be looking at multiple shooters. So at least that part, the guys there, stepped up there. But the failure here is absolutely catastrophic. You have one job and only one job. Your job is keep the body alive no matter what. Donald Trump, Joe Biden, Jill Biden, the president of Djibouti, it doesn't matter. That is your job. They absolutely, resolutely, 100% failed. Not a single excuse should be made. Not a single excuse should be attempted. This should be the subject of congressional hearings and investigations, because if they can't do this, and this is the best technology you had, then folks, there's no purpose anymore. This was an apocalyptic security failure. And don't ever forget, an uneventful failure is never a success. And the fact that Donald Trump didn't die yesterday is no reason for anybody to take some kind of victory lap. And before we start sending out plaudits, we better look and do a hot wash on this and find out exactly how abysmal this security plan was.
That was Dan Bongino. And boy, oh boy, was he fired up, and he was burning on every cylinder, scoring multiple points on every single.
Well, I applaud him because I agree with him 100%.
On every single merit that he hit.
Yes.
Did you hear what he said?
Yes.
It wasn't just a failure.
Yeah.
It was an abysmal failure, a catastrophic failure, a breakdown of such proportion that it's a small miracle of God himself.
Yeah.
That more people didn't die.
Yeah.
That Donald Trump didn't die. He was a hair, literally a hair away. Man.
Like I said, if he had had his shoes on and moved his head a certain way, he wouldn't be here right now.
Oh man, wait a minute. Wait.
Like I said last night,
Yeah. I want you to see something. It's a different angle, all right? You're going to see some different angles here. I want you to take a look at this one, though.
My God.
Watch this.
Get that son of a... Get that son of a...
Did you see the president's shoe?
Yeah, they kicked it off the stage.
That's important. I thought about why are they doing that? You're going to understand in a second. Watch the clip. I put it on there. I looped it over twice because I had to watch it twice to catch what they were doing. Tell me if you catch it.
Okay.
All right. Did you catch it?
No, I didn't get
Watch.
This.
I want you to watch it again.
Oh my God.
Get that son of a...
Get that son of a...
They tossed that shoe. They didn't realize it was a shoe. They thought it was a gun. Because as you're listening, you hear someone say, get rid of it, get rid of it. They thought it was a gun laying on the stage. They didn't realize, oh, it's the president's shoe. And that's why when he got up, he said, "Let me get my shoes."
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And he didn't say it just once.
He said it twice.
Said it twice.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. He wears black patent leather shoes.
Yeah.
If you're looking at the ground or you're looking at the stage, you're looking real quick. You're a Secret Service guy. You're looking real quick. All you're seeing is this black thing.
Yeah, it's something black real quick, and you're like not thinking.
Right, thank you.
Yeah,
that's why the guy said, "Get rid of it. Get rid of it."
Mm-hmm.
That's why they threw it, because there was another secret. If you notice, there was another Secret Service agent on the ground who picked it up.
Yes,
because they realized what it was. It was a shoe, not a gun.
And if this was a simulation for them to pass to being a Secret Service, they would all failed.
A simulation.
If it was, you know what I'm saying?
Was a simulation.
They failed. You know how, mm-hmm.
Oh, let me tell you something, please. Let's talk about it.
Yeah, because you know how they have to do that.
All right, I'll tell you what, Amelia. Once in a while, you get onto something, and I just got to let you go with it. So just you go.
Well, you know how they have to pass certain tests.
Listen to me. Slow down there. Then let your coffee kick in.
I know, right? Let my coffee kick in. Well, you know how they have to
take your time, because I want to hear why you think. Go ahead.
Well, you know how you have to take certain tests to become, Secret Service agent, like gun tests. You have to do shooting.
Oh yeah, you got to go through hoops. Absolutely,
you got to do hoops. You got to protect the president. You have to do simulations like that. And
my cousin was a Secret Service agent. I know.
And when you see something like that, you just don't tell the president just to drop. You run toward him as he drops, like things like that. And the way all of that happened, they should have ran to him sooner. If it was a simulation, they would have all failed right then and there.
Oh, it failed miserably, abysmally failed.
Absolutely.
You heard what Dan Bongino said. The whole exercise, and I'll use that word, the entire exercise was, in Dan Bongino's words, an abysmal failure, a catastrophic failure. Let me bring it back up here. The other thing we want to talk about, and it's really important, there are a number of people who travel with the president, besides, of course, Secret Service.
Right.
There are special guests,
his entourage.
Not only that, but his friends.
Yes.
You saw Tucker Carlson, his son Donald Trump Jr., his son Eric, his daughter Ivanka. You saw Vincent Fusca, his very dear friend Vincent Fusca. Everybody says Vincent Fusca is John F. Kennedy Jr. I'll let you decide, because you're going to see something in a minute. I'll let you all decide. But we have to think about what it is we're talking about. If this is an exercise, if this is an exercise, and this was all, I hate to use inside terms, but if this was not a real world situation, if this was in fact false flag, okay? If this was false flag, it failed.
Yeah, if it had been
failed in a grandiose way.
Right.
Let's see.
If it had been a simulation, something like that.
Your chat? Yes, they are, Kenneth. We're having some issues. By the way, those guys, if you're watching on YouTube, as some of our people are, if you're watching on YouTube, we're having some chat issues. Just disregard it. There's nothing negative. It's just we're just having some technical problems. Oh, here you go. My brother he says you're right. So there you go. So you got one person thinks you're right.
Well, thank you.
Yeah, exactly.
But yeah, I mean, if it had been something like that, yeah, it would have been horrible, and especially.
Oh God, please, yeah. I want to talk to you tonight about the people that travel with the president. There are a number of people, of course, as we said, dignitaries, friends, family, of course, the Secret Service, of course, and then the president or former president, as the case may be. They are permitted to have a number of close friends with them.
Right.
One of those close friends for Donald Trump is a man who we only know as Vincent Fusca.
Right.
Vincent Fusca and his wife, okay? I'm going to play this clip, and I'm just going to let it play. I'm not going to say anything, but you and I and our guests in the chat and anybody that wants to chime in, please chime in. Let's watch the clip and let it roll.
Vincent Fusca. What y'all saying? He's JFK Jr.? John Denver? You are all incorrect. But you're on the right path. So you got to do some digging. Digging. Turn over stones. That's too heavy for other people to lift. Get on that place and play on the DW. It's finna get crazy. I don't think I really want to see hate breathing down my neck right now like that. So stay in my lane. I just wanted to know, did anybody recognize the yellow rag? If y'all connect the rag and what it stood for, you'll find out who that was.
Okay, let's talk about something. You haven't seen it yet. You're going to right now. You heard our friend Clarence.
Yes.
By the way, I put that video together. You're going to hear Clarence. You heard him talk about the yellow rag.
All right.
All right. What's the yellow rag? What's he talking about, Amelia? The yellow rag.
Something that someone always carried with them all the time.
Who carried who and what are you talking about? I'm going to pretend like I don't know what you're talking about.
Some celebrity,
some
celebrity always carried a rag with them all the time, and it had to have been a yellow rag, I guess, at one time.
Okay, who?
I can't remember who it was. You're going to have to let us know.
This is the kind of crackerjack research she does, folks. Why I keep her, I still shake my head.
Because when I saw the picture, I thought it was JFK, but when I saw the picture back to back, I thought it was John Denver because it looks a lot like John Denver.
Well, you're not the only one who said that.
Yeah,
That's why you heard Clarence. She said JFK Jr., John Denver.
Yeah.
Could be, could be Howdy Doody for all we freaking know. The yellow rag. What does the color yellow? What does that mean? You've heard people throughout history say, well, especially in the Old West, well, that old yellow dog, he's just a yellow belly or whatever. Yellow was a bad thing, right? Back in the Old West. But let me tell you what yellow actually means. It means quite the opposite. It means cautious, smart, energetic, cheerful, happy, warm, optimistic. It's a power color. You're going to see exactly what Clarence is talking about when he talks about the yellow rag. And I went, oh, what the heck is he talking about? I know what Clarence is talking about. So yeah, well, Leon, I just proved you wrong there, brother. Actually, it means quite the opposite. Yellow is not, it's not cowardly. It's actually quite the opposite of cowardly. where the old West got Yellow Belly and Yellow Dog, and he's an egg-sucking yellow dog. And if you heard that, it's every cowboy movie I've ever watched. Watch this. Take a look.
Vincent.
Wait.
Vincent Fusca.
You want to see that again? You want to see that again, Amelia?
Sure.
Watch the pocket, kiddo. Watch the pocket.
You'll find out who that was. Vincent.
Wait.
There's the yellow rag. You know why he's... Do you know who that is?
All I can make out is saying, we have known. We have known.
Okay,
that's what he's saying.
Tell me, who do you think it is?
It looks like John Denver still to me.
It's not John Denver. I can assure you it is absolutely, categorically not John Denver. I'm waiting.
I don't know who that is.
All right, well, let's continue. You got plenty more opportunity to redeem yourself, young lady.
Vincent Fusca sat behind Trump at the shooting.
And then the worst president in the history of our country took over. And look what happened to our country. Probably 20 million people. And you know, that's a little bit old. That's actually a couple of months old. And if you want to really see something you said, take a look what happened.
What is he?
Do you know who he actually looks like?
Who
He looks like my friend Stephen Plym.
Really? I know, right? For a little bit. When
saying.
Yellow rag, folks. The yellow rag. Okay. I want to pull it out for just a second there. All right, now. You saw a couple of... You're going to see some more, by the way. There's a lot more, much more of them. The yellow rag. All right. There are people who have speculated that the yellow rag was a symbol to be waved in case something happened. There are people who think that Vincent Fusca is an undercover Secret Service agent or a police officer of some kind. I can assure you that is not true. I can assure you categorically that is not true. What I cannot say for certain, because there is a growing amount of evidence supporting the notion, and I mean solid evidence supporting the notion, that is, in fact, John F. Kennedy Jr. If you look at John F. Kennedy when he died at the age of 37 years old, 36, he was a young guy.
Very young.
He was only in his 30s when he passed. Okay? You need to remember that.
Yes.
Okay? You need to remember that. He was only in his... He wasn't even 40 yet.
No.
Okay? What would he look like today? Well, guess what? If you take a picture of John F. Kennedy Jr. and age progress it, he looks an awful lot like Vincent Fusca. You can do that yourself, by the way, folks. There's plenty of apps out there where you can make yourself
comparison.
older.
Yep, just like that.
Yeah, Amelia knows because she's got 73,000 apps that she does shit with and sings with naked cowboys on TikTok. Anyway, but that seems to be with solid evidence, substantial evidence, not proof. Evidence is not always proof.
Right.
Okay.
Conspiracy
it's
stuff.
Substance of proof. This is how police define evidence. It is not proof. It is the substance of proof. In other words, one piece of evidence is not going to convict the killer, but 10 or 15 pieces will. It's the substance of proof. It's what makes up proof. Let's watch.
I've been getting to the business since a bad little youngster. I'm American badass, a bad motherfucker. I've been getting to the business since a bad little youngster.
Okay. I played that little clip there specifically, and I pulled it out. Now watch. Why did I do that? What did you notice, Amelia? Let me see how observant you are, which God help.
That the yellow rag was sticking more out of his pocket more than normal.
It was, in fact, but that's not what I wanted you to notice. Let me tell you what she was supposed to notice, folks, but as usual, she didn't. What you were supposed to notice is that the only person standing still there and looking around with his head was Vincent Fusca. Everyone else was moving and running and ducking. He stood straight up as if he knew he wasn't going to get hit. And he looked around, okay? It is, again, indicative of someone who is not fearful. What would he have to be fearful of? If it's not JFK Jr., and this guy is actually Vincent Fusca, and that's his real name.
Right.
The only reason he would be standing up like that and not fearful is if he was working for the government or he was in on it. What do my conspiracy guys in the chat say?
Is that why he said, we have known, we have known?
Who said that?
Vincent said that out of his mouth.
He said, we have known. Is that what you're
chanting? We have known, we have known.
No, what he was chanting is, we are one.
Oh.
We are one. He
looked like
Vincent Fusca, by the way, is listed as the president of Where We Go One, We Go All. WW1 WGA. Where we go one, we go all.
Okay.
Okay.
Because it looked like that's what he said when he was.
Yeah. And you'll have to look it up, but that's what it is. It's called Where We Go One, We Go All. Their initials are like WWG, WGA, something like that. But just type in Vincent Fusca.
And you'll be able to
search that. You'll see. I watch. But that's what he's saying.
Okay.
He's not saying what you thought he said.
Okay.
Yeah, watch.
November 5th, we going crazy. November 5th, we going crazy. Red pill poppin', swerving in the Trump truck. Republican 4G, Antifa knows what's up. Red, white, and blue, MAGA nation, throw it up. Black, white, and brown, all about the Trump. Democrat party gon' take your freedom. Indicting our president cause they can't beat.
All right, Amelia.
Yes.
Take a good look at this guy.
Yes.
Do you think he could pass for JFK Jr.?
Yeah, if you did like an age compression, yes, you could.
Now, I want you to think about something. JFK Jr. would be my age now.
Yes.
I'll tell you. I'll tell you right now. I'm going to ask Mr. Google.
Well, look at he could be wearing a wig, of course. Like you said, the hats, glasses make a big difference in changing somebody's appearance.
Say that again?
The hat, the glasses, and that's definitely a wig. You know.
Yeah, but you know what? It's amazing what makeup and a hat and wig can do.
Oh, absolutely.
I mean, just a wig by itself, just a hat by itself. You know?
But the eyes you can see.
Oh, God. You know what? Put a pair of... Watch this, okay? See these glasses?
Yes.
Watch it. Watch the difference a pair of glasses can make on a person, okay? You go from that to this.
Yes.
It's a completely different look. Just changing out my glasses.
Yeah, or if I take mine off, it's like a big difference too. It's
because people run away.
Or if you put sunglasses on, it's a big difference too. Because
people run away more. No, but here's the point I'm trying. You know, we're having a little fun because we are doing our conspiracy night tomorrow.
Yes.
We're going to get very serious. Is what the boys are going to be here. But I want to find out something real quick. Because and I think it's important too. How old would John F. Kennedy Jr. be? Okay, so he was 37 when he passed. He would be, he would be like my age, like 65, 66. So I knew he was in the ballpark.
Right.
But watch this now. There are people who think that's JFK Jr.
Yes.
I don't see it, but you're talking about, you know, a few decades have passed since JFK Jr. passed away. You know, like 25 years or close to that anyway.
Right.
At least. You know, so you're talking about a substantial amount of time. And, you know, as we've said many times, time stands still for no one on, you know, on this planet, you know. Watch. Let's watch this again. There you go. Now you see him, he's just standing there.
Yeah.
And the yellow rag is further out of his pocket. There are people who say that he's signaling.
Yeah, he's doing this. Like
that's a signal. Okay. I want you to also take a look at that Secret Service patrol. They don't look like they're involved in a false flag operation. They look like they're deadly serious.
Yeah, they look like they're deadly serious, especially the gentleman that rushed to him first.
Yeah, well, especially the guy holding that automatic, you know, machine gun.
Yeah, he's making sure that the president's secure right now and making sure that nobody else is.
Yeah. Now, you got to remember something, too. Donald Trump is not he's 78 years old.
Yeah.
But he's in really good shape. And he's a tough son of a bitch, too.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
There ain't many 78-year-olds that will go down like that and get back up.
Right.
I'll assure you of that.
Yeah. And they just huddled around him and make sure that he could still walk down the stairs, but make sure that he's surrounded, like.
Yeah. Well, now you saw Vincent Fusco. Well, now let's take a look at someone who says this is Vincent Fusco's partner. Well, I'm going to reserve judgment again, and let's just watch. The man in the hat. That's
And then the worst president in the history of our country took over. And look what happened to our country. Probably 20 million people. And you know, that's a little bit old. That's a couple of months old. And if you want to really see something that's said, take a look what happened.
Do you see what they've done there? What am I looking at?
It's like his lapel or something like that on his jacket.
No.
No.
Not at all.
It's pointing right there.
No. It's the letter Q.
Mm-hmm.
You don't have a clue what I'm talking about.
Well, it's like right there. I know it's a circle, but it's hard to see.
It's a circle with a line in it. It's a Q.
Oh, okay. It looked like an arrow.
Why is that significant? Because John F. Kennedy Jr., they believe, started a group called QAnon.
Oh, he's the one?
That's the one. That's Vincent Fusca.
Oh, you know why? Because we were going to do that show, but we didn't after all.
Vincent Fusca is the guy who started Q.
Oh, okay.
Watch.
Why are these people so calm?
Look what happened to our country. Probably 20 million people. And you know, that's a little bit old, that chart. That chart's a couple of months old. And if you want to really see something that's said, take a look at what happened.
Okay. Let's see. I'll give you a chance to redeem yourself. What did we see?
It's just a lot of shots fired, and a lot of people stayed calm, and a lot of people were screaming.
A lot of people stayed calm. Not really, no.
No, some people stayed calm, and a lot of people more were screaming, but there was a
The
few
people that stayed calm were Vincent Fusca and the woman sitting directly to the left of Donald Trump. There are people who believe that they are either, again, as I said previously, either they are Secret Service agents or undercover police, or they are a part of Mr. Trump's inner circle that are giving signals. They're giving signals to Mr. Trump that he understands.
Right.
Okay. And we'll leave it at that. All right. It happens all the time too, by the way. It's standard protocol. Standard protocol.
Yeah, I believe that they put some Secret Service in the audience just to be like regular people, just to keep them safe.
Yeah, watch.
Move to spare. Hold. When you're ready. On you. Ready. Move. Up. Move. Go. Up. Hawkeye's here. We ready?
Okay, we are watching live at a rally.
If you want to really see something that's said, take a look at what happened. If you want to really see something that's said, take a look at what happened.
All of those people, 350 people behind Donald Trump, and 2 people completely unfazed. That woman with the glasses, when the guns start, firing, the rifles started shooting, she smiled and started taking pictures.
Yeah, all she's doing is this right here, just this.
Doing her. Thank you. Exactly what she did. Picked up her phone and started videotaping.
Yeah, that's it.
Crazy. That's kind of strange behavior, don't you think?
Very.
There are a number of people who say this was an inside job and that the Biden administration planted certain people there. As much of a conspiracy theorist as I would like to believe I am, I think it's possible, but not very likely, because they would be found out rather quickly. And we wouldn't have to go through all of this to find out. Okay. You are looking at, ladies and gentlemen, and those of you on radio, we will tell you, we are looking at probably the most unlucky Secret Service agent in the history of the United States Secret Service. This was her first day on the job. Her first,
and that's why I was
day on the job.
And that's what I was saying
May
earlier.
very well have been her last day on the job. We'll explain why here. And well, let's just watch this clip first. And we're seeing her trying to help escort President Trump into the car there. The problem is she doesn't know where her holster is to put her gun back. Now, she took the gun out of her right side, but she's trying to put it back on her left side. There's a problem, though. There's already a gun there. So she's trying to put a gun back in a holster that there's already a gun in.
So she must have taken somebody else's gun.
Well, what happened was she forgot where she was.
She's like, wait a minute, where is it? That's what I'm saying. She would have failed big time if this was her test to pass for.
Right.
I was like, wait a minute, lady. And then what you did not tell people is that if you go back to the video, she's wearing a vest, a bulletproof vest.
Well, let's take a. You know what? But let's take a look at this. This is something to consider. But you know, among all of this, there have been a number of people. I'm gonna just give it. Hold on, just a second. Hold on. There's Amelia. There we go. There you are.
Mm-hmm.
I wanted to bring you up. I want to bring you up here because you're responsible for this stuff. You're the one that sent me this crazy stuff.
Well,
and when I say crazy, folks, I'm not even kidding. This is some bizarre shit. Amelia sends me this bundle of stuff to go through, and I'm, of course, I have, I gotta. Much as I hate to, sometimes I gotta go through all of it to see.
Well, I was busy studying that
cockamamie stuff she went through, and God help me, what is she sending me now?
I was studying this stuff today. That's what I was studying today.
You were studying
this stuff.
Oh, you got a lot of studying to do, girl.
Well, that's what I was studying today. Is what you're about. What we're about to talk about.
Well, let's take a look at this. Well, now, there's some good stuff in here, but you're going to talk about it.
This is what angers me. Okay.
Well, tell everybody what I'm about to set up here. Go ahead.
This is people that have been showing some negative comments about Donald Trump, that he did not die. Okay. That the bullet missed him, things like that. And that somebody did lose their life, which that one really pissed me off the most.
Yeah.
And nobody should have lost their life.
I want to give you, and it's important. I want you, because this is kind of your. We did something last night we've never done, folks. I think I lost my mind because I said to Amelia last night, I'm going to give you, God help me, I should have said something before. I'm going to give you a platform tomorrow night to vent, because she's been and seriousness. I'm getting very serious now. This really bothered Amelia a lot, and it bothered me when I saw it. But this is her baby, and I want her to kind of like just, tell you from her heart how she feels about her president and the negativity, because this is some bad stuff. So I'm going to pull myself out of here, and you talk, and I'll show your little video, okay?
Well, first of all, nobody should lose their life. Not even the person, the shooter. Okay, that I don't agree with, but that happened. And first of all, this Dr. Karen Pender, I'm going to use that name lightly. She is from British Columbia, Canada. I don't know why it's reached British Columbia, Canada, but she had the nerve to say, damn, so close, too bad. And then somebody said, damn it, so close. And how, help bring you a victim for more votes. I really wish the person had better aim. And then this doctor says, what a glorious day it would have been. Let me tell you something, Miss Dr. Karen. Oh, yes, she's a Karen, all right, Miss Pender. You know, how dare you say something about our former president? You don't know him, okay? He would be so great for our country. You know what? Stay in your country and I'll stay in mine. But people, let me tell you something. If you want to reach out to her, that this angers you, that she has said this about our president, I have a phone number for you to call. 604-822-1797. Yeah, I'll repeat that again for you. 604-822-1797. Call this Dr. Karen Pender up. Tell her how much it pisses you off that she can come into our country and say that negative stuff about our president. Or Karen.Pender, P as in Paul, INDER, at ubc.ca. You can reach her at that email. And she's a university at British Columbia Cellular at Psychological Sciences. Can you believe that? She studies that there. You can tell her that we do not want her opinion. She can keep her opinion to herself and tell her little ass Karen she can go fuck herself. You can leave her lots of messages because I know I'm going to be calling her and telling her my opinion. And if she wants to come on our show, guess what? We'll tell her ourselves. So, Miss Pender, you're welcome to come on our show. And I'll be happy to tell you to go fuck yourself to your face. You understand that? I'll be happy to tell you. Again, 604-822-1797. That's your phone number. And there was a couple more, too. Let's see. Miss Cassie Martin, I believe, is the next one. She says,
wow, the pit bull dropped the F-bomb.
Mm-hmm.
Wow, folks.
What do you think about that one? Did she come into our country?
On this show, and she only dropped one F-bomb.
Yeah.
Holy shit. You dropped two of them on tonight's show. Oh, my God.
Yeah, and Miss Dr.
Somebody's
Karen
fired you up.
If anybody knows who she is.
I better get the hell out of here.
If anybody knows who she is and can contact her, she can come on our show anytime. And Miss Cassie Martin, you are a mother of the best kids. Oh my goodness. Skin enthusiast, animal lover, liberal teacher from Sioux Falls, South Dakota. Behavioral health psychology. Oh, shoot. If only he would have had a scope slightly and correctly. Oh, give me a fucking break. Come on. Really? You're a teacher from Sioux Falls, South Dakota? Well, this is for you. You don't like it? Get the hell out of our country. Go to Canada. Go be with this Dr. Karen. She might want you there. Okay? Because I the hell sure don't want you in our country. Go be with this Karen. Since you are a doctor as well for behavioral, go be with her. They might have a place for you in her little university.
Man, you are fired the hell up. Yeah. Holy shit.
Yeah. Oh, there's one more.
There's more?
One more.
God.
She's Miss Linda Peterson from Florida, from my state. I hate to be embarrassed.
Let me tell you something. She's real popular, this one.
Mm-hmm.
She's already getting death threats, and her phone's already been disconnected.
Miss Linda Peterson, damn it. He didn't do well. At least one supporter died. I'll take what I can get. It's what she said. That's what she said.
That's what she said.
That's what she
said. Folks. That's what she said.
And I've got it in print. At least one supporter died. And then she says, well, maybe he won't miss next time.
Here's what scares me about all of this. I would expect this from an ignorant redneck guy, but these are all women.
All women.
All women.
I'm ashamed to be a woman.
All women. No, the pitbull ain't playing when I tell you. Let me tell you something, Nikki.
Martin, and you, Miss Pender.
The pitbull is on Fire. Are
you come
shitting
on
me?
this show. If you want to say shit, you come on this show and you talk to me and you talk to the Mad Dog. You want to
By
say
the
shit?
way,
Come on. Come on.
just to let everybody know, in case you don't know, we have and have always had an open door policy here at What's the Buzz Popcast. I have been a broadcaster for more than 45, almost 45 years. I've been a podcaster for the last almost 7. Okay. My background is radio and television. That's legit. You can check me out. We have right now almost 13 million subscribers. We have 9 million just on Spotify. Just Spotify alone, there are just over 9 million subscribers. And we have an audience largely in Europe, believe it or not.
Yeah.
In Europe. We're huge in Europe. Particularly, I don't know why, but Amelia and I were talking about them before the show.
Mm-hmm.
We are huge in Germany and New Zealand. They love us in New Zealand and Germany.
And
Australia.
Egypt, we found out.
Crazy. Isn't that
Egypt.
crazy?
Yeah.
So here's what I'm saying to you. And I want to put this out there because this is serious. We have never and will never shy away from equal talk, equality. If you have something to say, whether I agree with you or not, I will give you the platform to say it. Here is what I believe, and I believe this with every fiber of my being. I am a staunch advocate and a diehard advocate of free speech in every form, to the point where I had the former, at the time he was the acting legal director of FIRE, the Foundation for Individual Rights and Expression, Joe Cohn. Was a member, a member, but he was a guest on our show, a frequent guest. And Joe is a good guy, and I will tell you, no one will defend your right to free speech more than he and I. I can tell you this emphatically: if you have something you want to say, whether I agree with you or not, I will give you a platform. I don't have to like you. I don't have to agree with you, but I do respect you. I respect everyone who comes on this show. It doesn't mean I have to be your buddy. It doesn't mean I have to be your friend. It doesn't mean I have to like you. But you will have my respect. Just like I know you have my respect. You know? I have your respect. It's important. One of the things I get all the time in our emails, and we get a lot of emails, folks. People say, Mad Dog, I don't like your language sometimes. I don't like what you say, but I will, how did they say it? I will defend your right to say it. You know, and I tell people, too. I may not like what you say, but I will defend to the death your right to say it. Absolutely. That's where you're going to get me, because that's where I am on this. It's very simple with me. Very, very simple. Amelia asked me last night for a platform. She had this laying on her heart. She had it on her mind. She wanted to unload. She has been with me for 2.5 years. I thought, you know what? Better now. She may as well unload now. While she's got it fresh on her mind.
Exactly.
You know?
See, it's not fair. No one should die, no matter who it was, whether the shooter, the president,
and
innocent
that's what's
person.
important.
No
I want
one.
to say that, and I'll repeat that again, and I want you to hear me out. Understand this. Irregardless, irrespective of your politics, Political viewpoints come and go. They sway voters, and sometimes they don't. It's a matter of choice and opinion. I will never tell you what to vote, who to vote for, what party to align yourself with. But one thing that we will never do here is wish death or harm upon any candidate or any person or any party. I am a Republican. Okay? I came to that party. God. I didn't become a registered Republican until I was 59 years old. Okay? I was an independent and a Democrat my entire life. I was a Democrat first. I was raised in a staunchly Democratic household. Staunchly, adamantly Democratic. And then I thought, you know what? I cannot, in good conscience, I cannot vote that party anymore. So I registered independent. Unfortunately, in the state that I live in, you can register independent, but you can only vote Democrat or Republican. You're not allowed in New Jersey to vote independent. They do not recognize it. Your vote does not count. You can register independent, but you must vote Democrat or Republican. So I found myself voting Republican to the point where a few years back, probably 6 years ago or so, I registered as a full-on Republican, registered Republican. And that's what I'm proud to call myself, a staunch advocate of the Republican theology, the Republican mindset, and the Republican Party. That's who and what I am. And yes, Leon, I know you're a libertarian. Every time you're on here, you say you're a libertarian, and that means absolutely nothing to me. Other than I know Jesse Ventura is a libertarian. Good for him. But you can't vote for a libertarian in New Jersey. You have to vote for a Democrat or Republican. Anyway, again, I will say this, and I will be as clear and concise and as straightforward as possible. If you wish to come on this program, the door is open. Speak your mind. You will not be judged. You will not be critiqued or criticized. And you will not be told to stand down or shut up. You will be welcomed here. So will your opinion, whether we agree with you or not. We will always welcome your opinion and your right to have an opinion on this program. Having said that, Amelia, I think it's time to go home. Oh, wait a minute. Hold on, Amelia. I had to mute you. There was background noise where you're working. Where are you?
Yeah,
anyway?
I think the dogs were barking a little bit. So
all right.
Yeah, tomorrow we're going to have the same show, but this time we're going to have our
The
two
boys,
guests with us.
the boys will be with us. The boys are back in town, folks.
Mm-hmm.
The boys, our boys, Rico, Ricky Style, and Joe Stretch Kwiatkowski.
Mm-hmm.
The show, they love their show. They love the name of their show.
Yeah.
That's bullshit.
Yeah.
That's the name of their show. That's bullshit.
Yep.
With Rico and Stretch.
Yes, and thank you for letting me get a lot of that stuff.
Such an original name, too, isn't it?
Thank you for letting me get that stuff off my chest. And I did invite.
Look, once in a while, you got to vent.
And if those ladies want to come on the show, yeah, I'll let them talk, but they're going to have to let me give them my opinion.
Speaking of shows, I have one
hellacious
show.
Thursday.
Are you ready for this promo?
Yes.
Oh, check this out. I got the promo of all promos. We got a guy coming on Thursday night. This
7
man.
p.m. Eastern, right?
What's that?
7 p.m. Eastern, right?
Always 7 p.m. East. That's our time.
Oh, you gotta let the people know too.
I'll take care of it.
I'm just excited for you. That's why I'm just excited.
You're fired up, and now you want to talk all the time. I got to shut her up fast, folks.
No, I'm just excited for you guys, for you especially.
Take
for
a
the
look
show.
at this. We have an amazing guy. I'm going to play this first, then I'll talk about him.
The following program is brought to you in living color on NBC.
Hear ye! Hear ye!
Tonight from practically everywhere, it's Dan Rowan and Dick Martin's Laugh-In. Would you shut up?
Hi, my name is George Slaughter. I'm laughing because I just finished writing a book called Still Laughing. And the reason I'm laughing is because the book is full of my adventures that I had with stars and shows, successful shows, and times that I got fired. It's full of a lot of stuff like that. I laughed writing it, and hopefully you'll give it a laugh reading it.
George means a whole bunch to me. He popped into the studio, saw me doing a barefoot tap dance, and he never seemed to forget me, and he was hoping to find me or run into me again and offer me the show.
George's career and all the risks he took and the unbelievable disasters they avoided to pull off some of the greatest events on television.
And George said to us, get in front of the camera. I want you to do anything you want. Anything you want. Heaven! And we did!
And of course, the thing that I love about George is he never changed. It's like he has the same mustache and goatee. It's like if he was a baby, came out with a goatee and mustache.
George is one of those guys who frequented looking for talent, and he would talk to you like you were a regular person, which seemed unbelievable because normally I'd be, well, how are you, Mr. Slaughter? No, call me George. I can't call him George. He's a big star,
I don't think anybody gets me more than George or appreciates what I do. So, like a week where I don't get a letter from George, I'm like, oh, did I fuck up this week? No, he's when he's your fan, really, there's no better feeling in the world.
So I then read the card wrong, right? So I started laughing like that, like, oh God, I said, George, could I do that again? And he was up in the booth, and I heard, that was just fine, Goldie.
And in looking back through it, I realized what a good time I had, and I hope that people in television today are having as much fun as we had then. It was all about having a good time and laughing and saying things we shouldn't say, couldn't say, and then we're glad that we did say. Anyhow, get a chance, pick up Still Laughing, and hopefully you'll have a laugh too.
That gentleman is George Slaughter. He is the creator, the producer, the man behind Rowan and Martin's Laugh-In, among a number, a plethora of television programs, including specials that featured Sammy Davis Jr., Frank Sinatra, Elvis Presley, Liza Minnelli, Judy Garland, Mickey Rooney. It's a veritable who's who of entertainment with George Slaughter. He is 95 years old. 95 years old. And George Slaughter will be joined by my dear friend. This is George Slaughter. It's what he's looking like today.
Wow.
George just wrote a book called Still Laughing. And yes, and he is still laughing all the way to the bank. If I had his money, I'd be laughing myself silly.
And you'll be joined by a special guest co-host as
me?
well.
But he will be joined by my dear friend, Stephen Plim, the man who managed the legendary Tiny Tim, who created a buzz with his incredible rendition of Tiptoe Through the Tulips.
Mhm.
You couldn't go anywhere in the late 60s or early 70s without hearing Tiny Tim's high-pitched falsetto voice going, tiptoe through the dew.
Yeah, my dad used to sing
If
that
I do
song
that, my
too.
balls will shrivel up.
My dad used to sing us that song. We look at him like, huh?
Oh, my God, really? That's a hard... I have news for you. If
Mhm.
you don't have a high-pitched voice, it's hard,
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah.
Because if you're a guy, your cojones want to come up into your throat.
All right.
Man. But George is an amazing guy. He will be joining me along with Stephen Plim. Stephen M. Plim. The M stands for money. And he is my buddy, my friend. And we will talk about the good old days of Rowan and Martin's Laughing. Amelia, what else do we have for the people?
Next week after that, we're going to be speaking. We're going to get a little bit more religious, and we're going to talk
do a little
about
serious stuff. I think you got planned. What do you got planned
the
for me?
22nd. We're going to be talking about who wrote the Bible.
Ooh.
A bit more into that.
Who really wrote the Bible? Yeah. That's a show that I always wanted to do because I've heard from preachers, rabbis, priests, ministers that some people believe it's like literal, that the person whose name is there wrote it.
All right.
And other people say there's no way that could have been possible because they weren't even alive at the time.
Right. And it didn't really happen.
I asked the question, who wrote the Bible? Right. Who really wrote the Bible?
And on the 23rd, we're really going to get more serious because people are going to be like, wait a minute, what are y'all telling us? Was Jesus a real person? And is there
was
a
Jesus
God?
a real person? And
is there a God?
Is there a God? Who is God? What is God? Can science prove the existence of God and Jesus? Well, guess what? There are a number of scientists who say, yes, we can. Interesting. Science used to be on the opposite end of that spectrum, where science was set out to disprove God.
Right.
Now you've got scientists saying, well, wait a minute, not so fast. There might be something to this God question here.
Yep. And then Jesus too, because, you've got little kids telling you stories too that, why would you not believe a little kid telling you certain things,
Well, that's a whole believe it or not, we could do a show just for that.
Yeah, because what my son said when he was little, but I'll retell that story.
Yeah, you told that story, and I get where you were going with that.
And then we're just gonna have another That's Bullshit show. So who knows what we're gonna talk about on the 24th again. So
if Amelia's involved in it, it's bullshit. I know I give you a hard time. I know.
No, you'll probably be involved in that one.
I'm sure I will in some capacity. You'll drag me into it for sure.
Here, come on.
Oh man. So dragging me into something. I was like, what is she doing
last
now?
week of July, we're just gonna be bullshit show because I'm gonna make that an easy week for you.
All right. Well, before we go, there are people in desperate need of help. We have emails that we get, people asking for help. If you are in need of help, you have substance problems, if you're an alcoholic, if you have drug substance issues, or you have a cocaine problem, if there's something that we can help you with, I'm going to roll some end credits here that have some important phone numbers on it. I encourage you, please let us know at What's the Buzz Popcast at gmail.com. What's the Buzz Popcast at gmail.com. If you need our help, if you're serious, email us. We will send you some important numbers to get a hold of us. In the meantime, we will send a bunch of numbers right here that you can jot down if you need help. If you need spiritual help, I will give you the number of Pastor Steve Kwiatkowski, our resident pastor. For Amelia, the Pitbull Chapman, I am the Mad Dog, Angelo DeCipio. We will see you, Lord willing, and the creek don't rise tomorrow night on That's Bullshit with Rico and Stretch. Until we see you, folks, take care, God bless, and God bless America, folks. Bye-bye.